Oh, hey everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics Presents. It's the artist Andrew speaking, and I sure do hope my microphone is on. Welcome to the show, and we're live streaming. This is the artist Andrew speaking. All right. I sent out some invites. We'll see if anybody's able to join. I know Todd/Tom said he would join eventually, but in the meantime, I'll just go ahead and just take over the show and let you know what's going on. Let me just double check. Hey, Avery, what's up, man? You got an invite sent to you if you want to join. No, we're just hanging out, doing our thing. You know, one of the things I regrettably have not been keeping up on is comic book news. I'm not sure exactly what's going on in the comic world. So what I might do, like when we do comic prices, is check and see what's on the news sites. I'm not a big fan of Bleeding Cool. They're usually the one site that everybody goes to, but that site is just so full with horrible ads that pop up all over the place, and it's not a good site to visit. What's another one that's good to visit? I know CBR is trash, but let's see. Wasn't Bounding into Comics good at one point? We can go there and take a look and see. They've got, I sent you a text. My router is a brick now. Oh no, that's horrible. But it happens. Sorry, man. All right, let's see what we got here. I'm over at Bounding into Comics. I might as well share the page since I'm talking about it. Might as well share. Let's see what we got going on here. Marvel promotes upcoming Black Widow by revealing Rachel Weisz's character on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Okay. Rachel Weisz, she's kind of hot. Amazon Studio, the studio behind Lord of the Rings and Wheel of Time, announces new inclusion policy. Really don't care. Marvel humiliates Danny Rand, has him say he sucked at being Iron Fist after giving up his powers. Ooh, that's horrible. DC to release Aquaman The Becoming, starring Aqualad Jackson Hyde, to tie in with DC Pride. Okay. Critics seek to cancel Black Panther Wakanda Forever actor Tenoch Hubbard over social media history accused ties to Spanish terrorism. Oh my goodness. Lucasfilm to attempt Anime Expo Light to showcase Star Wars Visions with a sneak peek. Okay. Let's see. Anything else interesting? Lin-Manuel Miranda apologized for In the Heights' lack of dark-skinned Afro-Latino actors. Gets criticized by social justice warriors anyway. Oh, hey, Fearful Milk, how's it going? Just checking out the headlines in the news. Comics news, movie news, I guess. Neil Gaiman confirms episode 5 of the Sandman Netflix series adapts the 24-hour story with Dr. Destiny. Okay. Chrissy Teigen pens lengthy apology for cyberbullying. Piers Morgan calls her a professional social media troll. What does that have to do with comics? And the Tomorrow War star Chris Pratt stands up to the U.S. military, or stands by the U.S. military on Flag Day, encouraging others to exercise their right to freedom and expression. What does that have to do with comics? Half this stuff has nothing to do with comics, but oh well. Okay, I don't think there's anything really interesting here, but Fearful Milk says, learning German and French to read a manga, gotta go throw German on the live stream because it sounds fun. Oh, okay. All right, well, none of this. Well, you know what? Hold on a second. Let's go to comic books. See what they're reviewing right now. Comic book review, Star Trek New Visions. Comic book review, Detective Comics 1000. Isn't that kind of old? Tap Dance Killer number 3. I have no idea what that is. Jawbreaker's Lost Soul. Okay, that's cool. They give it a 7.5. Very nice. Comic book review, Die #3. Now, this is a series, Die. This is one by Wizard. My brother-in-law, who's a gamer, is into that comic. I've never read it or even flipped through it. I don't know if it's any good, but he really likes it, so maybe it is. Captain Marvel #2, really don't care. Female Furious #1. These are super old, some of these. Yeah, like this Captain Marvel #1, that's an old one. These are really old reviews. Never mind, forget it. All right, so Bounding into Comics is not really up to date when it comes to comics reviews, so. Fearful Milk says, any more news on the Power Rangers comics? On the Power Rangers comics or the RWBY Ruby Justice League comic? Didn't that first issue already come out, the Ruby versus Justice League? I swear I thought I saw something in the store, so that's not one on my radar. So actually, you know what? I did go to the store Wednesday. I still do that regularly. And there were some new comics. The only one that jumped out at me that I thought about picking up was the new Static from DC and Milestone. I picked it up. I checked out the cover. The interior art wasn't bad. And I'm looking at it going, there's got to be a shoe. There's got to be a shoe dropping. And then I looked and saw that the writer was Vita Ayala. And I said, never mind. Not interested. I'm not interested at all. So I gave up. And there wasn't really anything else. I mean, Berserker #3 came out for anybody who's following that. And I knew that was one that if I put in the store for cover price, somebody would buy it. But all I would do is buy it, read it, and then sell it. So, yeah, I think with that entire series, same thing with Geiger. I like the art. I wasn't really thrilled with the story for Geiger, which is from Image Comics, Jeff Johns, and what's his name? Well, the artist. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Gary Frank. I like the art, but the story was not grabbing me at all. So I may wait for a decent trade for both those series. Fearful Mix says, any comics that came out or coming out that I should look forward to or pick up? To be honest with you, one of the things I regularly picked up every month, almost religiously, was previews. And at the time, previews had Image, Marvel, DC, it had everything. Now that DC is no longer in previews and Marvel's a separate thing, and the previews doesn't have everything anymore, I stopped buying it. I honestly have no clue what's coming out in the next 3 months. And I'm usually shocked when I see something on the shelf. Like, I never knew anything. Well, of course I didn't know anything about it. I'm not following. I don't really care. But so there's nothing I could actually point to tell you to look forward to or pick up. But if you get an opportunity, go to Indiegogo. Check out what's new and hot on Indiegogo, because those are things that are usually much more interesting than anything coming out from Marvel or DC. And most of you out there know what I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be Comicsgate. It could be anything, but you're going to find more interesting stuff in the self-publishing crowdfunding world. So I recommend that. All right. Well, Todd's not here yet. He said he'd be running a little late. We're going to give him a few more minutes. But I did bring up the recent comic price guide changes, and there's some in here that are worth looking at. So we'll check that out. Let me go and see. Oh, what's another site that I look forward to for let's see. Multiversity Comics. I used to check them out regularly. I'm not sure if they're still big on comic news or not. We'll see. Anybody out there watching the new Netflix show Sweet Tooth, based on the Jeff Lemire Vertigo comic from DC? The show's actually pretty decent, pretty good. My wife and I watched it together. We just recently, I think it was only 8 episodes. We just wrapped it up the other night, and of course, it's got a cliffhanger, making you want more, of course. And it was a lot of fun. We enjoyed it. It was a good show. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I've never read the comic, never followed the comic at all, so I haven't a clue how faithful an adaptation it is, but it was enjoyable. The show was enjoyable. Plus, the kid's really cute. The kid that plays Sweet Tooth is really cute. In the comics, Jeff Lemire's version of him, he's not cute. Phil from Oak says, I only picked up a couple of comics that are new only because they seemed interesting, but I normally buy the old ones. Me too. And I namely buy the bulk comics in the shop when they have a full series at half price. That's a good deal. My local store, other than my own store, does like bundle sets where they bundle like 10 comics together. I love picking those up because sometimes there'll be one or two things in there that's really good. But I like picking those up just to see what comes out of them. Heard of it, not seen it. Looked for the comic online, wanted to buy the comic, but we don't have it. Are you talking about Sweet Tooth? Yeah, I can believe that. I think the original series, I'm not sure if there was more than one series, but I know the original one had a pretty low print run. I mean, it was DC Vertigo and Jeff Lemire, so it wasn't huge. But I think in the price guide, issue number 1's like $100 book now, and everything else is like regular price. So that's what normally happens. But let's see here. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go check out Bounding into Comics or Bleeding Cool. We can go take a look and quickly see what's happening there. Oh, goodness, they've changed the way their site's set up. Let's see what we got. Well, there we go. There's your advertisement right there at the top. And at the bottom, close ad. Come on, let's get rid of these ads. How horrible. Seeing you can't even close them. Horrible, horrible site. All right. Opening Pokemon, the card game, Chilling Reign Packs Part 7. Okay. Good luck reading this preview of Good Luck number 1. Let's see what else we got here. What news? Marvel Universe to end in Dark Ages this September. Wonderful. Nova's Anti-Mutant hated in Guardians of the Galaxy number 15 preview. Celebrate Pride for $9.99 in Marvel Voices Pride number 1. Okay. Ed Pisker's Red Room number 3 gives a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cover from Jim Rugg. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what else we got here. Then we have TV. Latest in movies. I don't care. Latest in games. Don't care. Latest in collectibles. Even less care. And then latest in pop culture. All right, nothing very good. Nothing interesting. We're going to kill that. All right. So that's where we stand. Fearful Milk says, the series that I have been going through recently is Catwoman, the comic that I picked up after Nightfall. Really good reading. I'm up to issue 6, I believe. Okay, very cool. Very cool. Don't think I have any Catwoman set aside for my... I have a stack, actually. The stack's gotten a lot bigger, of books for potential grading, and I don't think I have any Catwoman in there, which is, but I had a lot of Teen Titans in there, some of the early Marv Wolfman, George Perez Teen Titans. Issue number 1, I think, is the first appearance of Raven, so that's a good issue to get graded. Issue 2, which I have, is the first appearance of Deathstroke, but the issue was given to me by a buddy of mine, and for some reason it was left unbagged, unboarded for the longest time, and something got to it and ate part of the cover, ate part of the spine of the cover. If you look at the issue itself, you're like, oh, this is a great looking copy, but if you open it up, you see holes in the spine, which takes the value and plummets it to the ground. So I need to show you that my comics, because I have picked up a lot, and I even picked up I believe, all the issues of Biano on 1986. I have no idea what that is. Beano? Okay, sure. All right, let's see. What else we got going on here? In just a second. All right, so we checked a couple of comic news sites, and there really isn't anything interesting happening. I really want Todd to get his butt in here so we can go over these comic prices, because there's a couple in here that are interesting. A couple I haven't a clue why they're jumping in price, but you never know. He's not going to know either. Oh, well. You guys want to see a short stack of some of the books I've got put aside for grading? Yeah, I'll show you. All right. Oh, this is that Teen Titans #2, first appearance of Deathstroke. Like I said, this one's not to be graded just simply because it's not going to make it. Let me switch cameras. Hold on, you guys. I wish you could do a different camera. Hold on. Oh, it's lap time. All right. So, this is a stack of comics that potentially going to be graded. This one, not really. I've actually put this aside. There was a customer came in and was asking about it, and I told him I did have it, and I told him about the condition. He didn't really care. He was a big fan of Deathstroke, so he's still interested in it. So I may end up giving him a deal on it. But it's a nice cover. This is issue #1 of the new Teen Titans. This is the first appearance of Raven, the first appearance of this particular team. The inside of this is also signed by Marv Wolfman. From what I understand, if you're getting a graded book that's already been signed, CGC won't grade it, or at least they won't take the signature into consideration unless it's verified. And there's actually another company that does verification and grading, so I have to look into sending it to them. But we'll see. Still, it's a nice looking book, and this is a great team and a great creative team as well. So Saga #2. This is actually up there in value right now. I'm not sure how low of a print run this series had, but it's very popular, and I have a couple of these early issues. I don't have issue 1, which sucks, but I definitely have issue #2. Let's see. Oh, yeah, this is one that recently jumped up in value. This is Jurassic Park #1, the Amber Chrome edition, which is really just shiny Prisma colors. This is actually limited to 7,500 copies, and this one, all these scuff marks, this is on the bag, it's not on the comic itself. This is actually #8 of 7,500. So very cool. Kingdom Come, the preview issue. This is like a 8-page issue that they put out. It's actually worth a little pretty penny. Not much, but worth considering to get it graded. We have Detective Comics #850, which is the first appearance of the Gotham City Sirens. So it's got a little bit of value in it because of that fact. This is Marvel #1, the shiny foil cover version with the Greg Horn, I believe it's Mary Jane Watson on the cover, but it's got shiny bits to it. So this is of this series, this is kind of rare, so it's kind of cool. This is the Justice League of America issue #1. There were 7 different covers that, when put together, made one cover. And then there was an edition, it was the 1 in 100 edition, where they had all 7. And yeah, this is one of those issues. But the fact it's limited, it's only 1 in 100, makes it worth potentially getting graded, because this is actually a really good edition, really good copy. Longshot #1, my copy of Longshot #1, Very nice. This is one that if I do get it graded, it'll probably just stay in my collection because big fan of Art Adams' work, and this was his first work for Marvel. So very cool. Oh, I don't know if I showed you these before. This is Power Girl #1 and #2 from 2009. This was I think this was the regular cover for issue #1 with the Adam Hughes, and this was the alternate cover. Oh no, I guess it was the regular cover for issue #2. But issue #2 is actually worth a little bit more than #1. I'm not sure why. I'm guessing maybe it's because it's lower print run, but definitely both worth getting graded. Deadpool #1 from the Deadpool The Circle Chase. This is a 4-issue limited series with art by Joe Madura, and this was his first standalone series before his ongoing. So this has a little bit of value in the fact that it was one of his first forays into his own comic. So this one's a really great issue, really great copy, so worth getting graded. This is another one of those ones that might be just for me. This is Xenozoic Tales #1, and this is actually a signed copy. It's signed by, oh my gosh, Schultz on the inside. What's his name? The guy who created it, the guy who drew it. It's a beautiful copy, and like I said, if it gets graded, it'll be just for me. X-Men #11. This is the Silver Edition. This was part of a promotion that they did with this particular issue. I mean, there's nothing really happening in this issue that makes it worth more, other than the fact that the Silver Edition is rarer than the regular edition. So it might be worth it. This Uncanny X-Men 282, first appearance of Bishop. This is actually a popular book right now, because pretty much anything first appearance is going through the roof. The reason why this one may possibly be worth getting graded is because this is the second printing, the gold edition second printing, which of course second printings usually have lower print runs. So I do have a regular edition of this somewhere else, but yeah, might be worth getting graded. X-23 #1. This is from her. I think this was supposed to be an ongoing series that ended up not going very long, but it was one of her first series, and it's got a nice cover. Detective Comics 871. This is the first Scott Snyder first Scott Snyder Batman ever, and he was on Batman for a while. This one has art by Jock and Francesco Francavilla, and yeah, it's just a nice, good issue. First time a famous writer worked on the series, so it's got a little bit of value to it. This is Superman #1 from Brian Michael Bendis and Ivan Reis. This was the I think it was 1 in 50 edition with the blank cover. I'll have to double check. I know it's got some decent value because it was one of the limited print runs, so still might be worth it. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the Origin gold foil edition. A valuable comic in some circles and possibly worth getting graded. This is X-Force, Uncanny X-Force #1, the variant by J. Scott Campbell. It's a pretty book. I know there was a limited run of this. I'm not sure what it is, but once again, something that's possibly worth getting graded. Same thing with this Angel cover. This is Angel by IDW, I think. And this particular edition, this is #1 with the photo cover. It has a rarity to it, so that's one of the reasons why I put it aside. This is the Authority #1 with the Art Adams penciled version. This is another one of those rare ones, so it might be worth getting. And plus, it's Art Adams, so I like it. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, another universe exclusive version of #1 from Dark Horse. This has also got the gold silver foil. Might be worth something good. Same thing here. This is actually, these last two were both Buffy's. This one is Buffy the Vampire Slayer #1, and this is the one #1. Both of these are foil ones that have limited print runs. So now, if you're into Buffy, these might be good ones to get graded. But this is my stack. This is the top of the stack. Well, not really. There's several others that may be considered sooner, but these are definitely ones that are on the top of my current stack to be graded. But I have another stack of books that's probably 5 times this long, 5 times this wide, of more stuff, and maybe we'll go through them at another time. But all right, well, you know what? I'm going to stop sharing now and switch cameras. So you guys can see my pretty face again. All right, well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tired. I appreciate the idea that I can run a live stream all by myself, but sometimes it helps to have people. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and jump into the top 10 recent value changes and take a look and see what's going on there. And if somebody joins, if Todd joins, great. If not, then once we're done with that, we'll wrap things up. All right, let me go ahead and share the screen. Once again, this is comicpriceguide.com. It's one of those sites that I go to pretty regularly to see what's happening. They're usually pretty good about updating their prices, so it's interesting to see what's going up and what's going down. #1 on the list for this week is Amazing Spider-Man #408 from 1996. It was a $4 book, and it jumped up to $10. Let's take a look and see if we can figure out why. Let's see. Oh, I didn't do the specific issue. I did the title. Let's see. Well, it doesn't say anything special about it. Nothing really special about the cover either. Media Blizzard Part 2. It's just it's so weird when you don't really know why a title jumped in value. But I'll have to keep an eye out. I might actually have that in the store. I'll have to double check. Doesn't look like an uncommon issue. All right, here we go. Amazing Spider-Man #363. This one's got Carnage in it, so that's probably why this one has jumped. Carnage and Venom. This went from, I think it was $8. It's now listed at $15. And I always look at the 9.4, the near mint price, as my starting point for looking at these. But, okay. That's a pretty, I wouldn't say it's a common book, but I've seen it before multiple times. So next up is Amazing Spider-Man #364, the very next issue. It actually went down in value, went from $4 to $3. So no explanation why. It's just leveling out, I guess. It's got the Shocker on the cover. That's about the only thing noteworthy to bring up there. And then let's see what else. Oh, it's the direct edition and the newsstand edition. Both the prices went down. So, all right, this is Amazing Spider-Man 365, first appearance of Spider-Man 2099. That's a good thing. 30th anniversary special with silver hologram. It went from $14 to $38, which I think is actually kind of crazy. I thought that was already worth a lot more because it's the first appearance of Spider-Man 2099. But it's a good issue to have. If you got it, hold on to it. Just simply because of the fact Spider-Man 2099 is a pretty popular character, and I know they're planning on doing more things with him. If you have a copy of this and it's in good condition, I would seriously consider having it graded because the grading value goes crazy, especially if it's a 9.8. It goes from 9.6 at 135 to 475 for a 9.8, which means there's probably a lot less 9.8. So if you have it, I'd recommend getting it graded. Let's see. This, I guess, is the regular edition. Okay, next up is Amazing Spider-Man 362. Sorry, was $12, is now $50. And I'm guessing Venom and Carnage, which for some reason I think Venom and Carnage might be in a movie or something like that sometime soon. So that might explain why the price jump, $12 to $50. I remember having that issue. I remember having all those issues. Those were all great. Then this is the newsstand edition of 363, which also went up. And then last but not least on the list is Supergirl #1 from October 2005. This is the second print Michael Turner sketch cover. Went from $5 to $16. Okay. That's one of the things that has happened a lot recently. I'm not sure if this is a newer kind of trend, or if this has been happening a lot, but second, third, fourth printings, because of the fact they're usually much lower print runs, sometimes those books can be more valuable than the first printings. Like I know everybody is familiar with X-Force #1, getting bagged with a card and so forth, but because for the longest time, now the cards are actually going up in value, so that has changed. But it used to be those comics were like $2 books, period. They weren't worth anything because there were so many printing of them. But the version that actually was worth the most was the second print, which was like a gold cover. And because of the fact there was less of the second printings. So for the longest time, X-Force #1 second print was worth more than X-Force #1 first print. And that may be the same case with this issue here. Now, that's a kind of cool looking issue. I was never a big, huge Michael Turner fan, but this one's actually kind of cool. I like the sketch version with the symbol being colored. So very nice, very nice. There can be only one. Very good. Well, in near mint condition, 9.4, it's a $16 book. Graded, it can go up. So it's not a bad book. If you've got it, consider getting it graded. But I wouldn't rush out there or anything like that. So, all right, bottom line, top 10 changes. 1, 2, 3. 3 were duplicates, which they do that every now and then. When the standard edition or the newsstand edition goes up, usually the direct market edition also goes up, and they list both of them. So, oh well, we had one go down, everything else went up. But these are all interesting books to keep an eye on. Especially that Amazing Spider-Man 365. I think that's pretty awesome if you have a copy of that. Spider-Man 2099 first appearance. I do not believe that the art in that one, or at least that story, was done by Rick Leonardi, who is the artist of the original series. Just give me a quick check to see if they have it listed. Oh, maybe it was. Interior art by Chris Alexander, Mark Bagley, Rick Leonardi, Aaron Lopresti, John Romita Sr., and Todd Smith. Okay. So I'm betting if the 2099 story in there is probably drawn by Rick Leonardi, which that's awesome. That's awesome. I actually have a copy, I think in my potentially to be graded stack of 2099 #1, signed by Rick Leonardi. So yeah, it's always a good thing. Now he's still kicking. He's still out there. So if you see him at a show, which he doesn't do a lot of shows, if you see him at a show and you have a copy of that book or any others of his book, go get his signature, because he's an awesome artist. And me and the guys, Todd and Avery, have history with meeting him, and it was always pretty fantastic. All right. Hey, Surf Rat. That would be my brother-in-law. How's it going, man? He says hello. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. He says, the X-Men and Saga need to be in my stack. Ha, ha, ha. He says, he says, hi, Drew. It's your sister. Does my brother-in-law know you took over his account? Naughty, naughty, naughty sister. My sister's awesome. But, yeah. All right, let's see. Fearful Milk says hello. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. I really didn't have anything important to talk about this evening, so this will be a short stream. I'm exhausted. I had a doctor's appointment today, so I got off a little early, and I didn't get a chance to take a nap after work, so I'm a little tired. But I got the store this weekend. I got a lot of stuff happening there. So if you're in the area and you want to come by and visit the store, I would love it to see you all. We got new comics. I just put up the video a little while ago of all the new comics we're bringing in. We got some other new stuff that's coming in. Nothing major. I have a table filled with DVDs and box sets that came in last week. So there's a whole bunch of new DVDs if you're interested in that kind of stuff. And I got an itching to do some drawing, and I'm hoping to get started on it very soon. I got an idea, something I want to work on. So, oh well. Avery says, "Go away, Tracy." You tell her. All right. Hey, everybody out there, remember Sunday the 20th is Father's Day. If your father is still in your life, like I know some people, your fathers have passed on and gone away, grandfathers and so forth, keep them in mind. This weekend's Father's Day. If you know somebody who's a father figure even, make sure you wish them Happy Father's Day. And we're going to do a sale at the store. We'll do something. If you come in and you say you're buying something for your dad, even if you're not, even if you're just buying it for yourself, we'll give you a little bit of a discount. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful, fantastic weekend, and we will see you next week. And everybody, please be safe. Love y'all. Talk to you later.